The Blue Mountain and Reading is a growing short line located north of Reading. Thurman Madeira, secretary of the line.
The station that we have at Temple was relocated from Frackville, Pennsylvania. It is an ex-Reading station on the Reading line up there. It was a freight station. It was torn down and moved to Temple piece by piece and re-erected down there by the Blue Mountain Reading. We run straight through to Hamburg and then stop there for about 15 minutes while the people can detrain, look at our railroad yard, see a water tower, the engine taking on water from a water tower, and if there's any minor maintenance, they'll do that, and then we'll head right back down to Temple Station. Use a backhoe right now to put the coal in the tenders. However, we're refurbishing a coal trestle down at Temple Station at the present time.
The Blue Mountain and Reading has a full complement of diesel power at its disposal, but it also features number 2839, a very special steamer. BM&R narrator Tom Hughes.
It's also a movie star. It was in the movie Coal Miner's Daughter. It was the train that came into town. It was the locomotive that pulled that train.
On the ride to Temple Station today, our locomotive is the Baldwin 425. The 4 1/4 big 69-inch drive wheels provide a top speed of 75 miles per hour. We'll be doing somewhere between 40 and 50 on the way to Temple Station. The original cost of the locomotive was $44,000. She weighs 222,000 pounds. She joined the Blue Mountain and Reading in August of 1984. And on July 13th, 1985, the BM&R had its first passenger-carrying train. Imagine the sight of the first steam passenger train to cross the rails into Hamburg in 44 years. Thurman Madeira says it takes a lot of work to run the line.
I would say we have about 20 volunteers. These are all ex-railroaders or rail fans that really put the time in. They do it on a volunteer basis, and they just like railroading.
The highlight of today's trip is the ride over the beautiful Stone Arch Bridge, which spans the Maiden Creek. Operations dictate that we go past the station at Temple and into a yard to have the locomotive go around, then pull into the station. This is to keep traffic moving on Tuckerton Road. Tom Hughes, narrator of the BM&R, tells an interesting story about the road.
Tuckerton Road, many years ago, was a railroad bed, and they constructed a road over top of the old railroad. They built the railroad line in order to divert coal traffic from the anthracite carrier of the Reading Company. When they completed the line, were ready to tap into the Reading Company. Reading said, "No way, we don't want the competition." Well, the East Penn Railroad was forced to abandon the line without ever having run a train over it. Later on, Reading Company bought the East Penn Railroad and could have used that as a nice shortcut. That's what you call planning in advance.
Now a final salute to the Blue Mountain and Reading Railroad. Past, present, and future rail service for Berks County.